Hey, in this tutorial we'll take a look how to run automatic processing using Flai Web App. All processing jobs in Flai Web application are defined as flows. Let's go.
We are beginning where we left off in previous tutorial, so that's inside the project. So all processing is defined in Flai Web application as processing flow. And to create a processing flow, you have to have a project. Inside the project, create new flow. Flows can be quite complex, you can save them as a template. And also we have some pre-prepared flow template ready for you to use. For now, we'll start one from scratch. Let's first give it a name. Here on the left hand side, we have all the operators that are available in Flow Builder. Here are readers, processors, and writer. Also here you can use search. Let's go quickly over readers. So we have billing model reader, POI or point of interest reader, point cloud FTP reader, and point cloud S3 reader, which are available only in our professional bundles. Offer option if you have data stored in your FTP server or S3 bucket to basically ingest the data directly from there, and in that way you can bypass pre-processing steps and speed up the processing. This became quite handy in processing of large projects and data sets. Then obviously we have point cloud reader, raster reader, simulated point cloud reader, and vector reader. So let's jump to the writers. So more or less the same writers are available as their counterpart readers. So here we have point cloud FTP writer and point cloud S3 writer. As mentioned before, those are only available in our professional bundle, and they can write datasets directly to your FTP or S3 bucket. So let's take a look at processors. So here's quite a lot of processors. For this tutorial, let's create one really simple flow that will read in the point cloud data. Then let's do reclassification by height above ground. This one requires two inputs, and one of those inputs is optional. Hover over, we can see the tooltip that helps us with information what it's expected input. This one is optional, so we only need the input point. Let's connect those two together, and here also you can see that the system will give you some information about what isn't yet configured correct. Here we can see that the dataset ID field is required. Press this, let's select the dataset that we uploaded. So let's take a look at reclassify by height above ground. So class label to indicate ground points is 2, okay, that seems correct. Algorithm to interpolate height between ground, okay. Source class label that will be reclassified. So currently all vegetation points are in class 3, and we want to separate it by height above ground into low vegetation, medium, and here in info we have information. So let's just copy and paste this. So what does basically mean is that all points from height above ground between 1 meter and 2 meters would be reclassified into class 4. All points between 2 and let's say 100 meters will be reclassified in category number 5. So now only the point cloud writer is missing. So we can give it name, or Flow will automatically figure out some meaningful name for this writer. So let's also take a look how one would add hillshades. Add writer, we need raster writer and not point cloud writer. So let's click here, and this should be it. So before we run the flow, let's take a look how pricing works in our web application. Each of those nodes has certain cost associated with it. For example, this one has per millions of points that are being processed. Then hillshade visualization has fixed cost per square kilometer processed. Here in upper right side you can see how many processing units this processing flow will consume, and how much this is in euros, and what is then the total value per square kilometer. And here we also give you some estimate when the processing flow will finish. If you are using our pay-per-download, you would not be charged for this. You can run as many processing flows for free. We will only bill you when you download the datasets. Last thing before we run the flow, let's just take a look. Here we could show flow templates. Then we can save this flow as a template. We can just save it as a flow or save it and also push it to the processing. And let's just save and run it. Okay. So now we are back to the projects view. So here there are some new items and let's explore them. We already see that there are two new datasets, point cloud dataset and raster dataset. Then here you can see your flow that we have just created. You can rerun it or you can edit it or duplicate it. Last thing in scope of this tutorial, here you also see the flow executions. Those are actually jobs that are running the definition of this flow. With click on it, we can explore what is happening in our flow. So with this you can monitor progress of your processing flow. In an event that something went wrong in the processing, here you would also get notifications or messages what went wrong with the particular flow.
Now you are able to define and run processing flows in Flai Web. In next tutorial we'll take a look how to use processing flow to run classification using KM. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below, like and subscribe. Cheers!